So welcome back. Next we are going to do the design of a top chord member. So in the previous session we did the design of a bottom chord member, which was tension members. So today we are going to do the design of a compressor member, which is also called the top chord members, right? So for design of a top chord members, so we already have the design load with us, which is 638.4 kilonewton. This we already calculated. Then we assume the slenderness ratio. Why we assume this slenderness ratio? Because we need to find out area required, right? So to find out that area required, there is a formula in IS 800 2007 on clause number 7.1.1, right? So using that formula, the formula is P is equal to FCK into AE, right? P is equal to FCD into A. This is FCD into A, right? So from that we need to find out the area, right? So to find out the area, we require the value of FCD, right? So to find out the value of FCD, we require slenderness ratio, because there are different tables given. So let us assume the slenderness ratio of 100. You can assume any value, right? It depends on your expertise, it depends on your experience, right? So I am assuming it is 100 mm for a starting point. 100, not mm, right? It is ratio. So refer IS 800 2007, table number 9C, page number 42. So we will get that FCD value is 107. Now let us see how this value is coming. So let me just share this code with you. First let us see the formula. So this we are doing section number 7, design of compressor member. So design strength, as you can see here, formula is PD is equal to A into FCD, right? PD is equal to A into FCD. So you can find this FCD value, design compression stress, obtained from 7.1.2.1, right? If it is axially loaded column. Ours we do not know what is the value. So we go to the tables. This is table number 8A. So we go to directly page number 42 and let us see what is given over there. So this is 41 and this is 42. So let me just change the view, right? So this is table number 9C, design compressive stress FCD for a column buckling class C. So KL upon R ratio, slenderness ratios are given. So I have assumed my slenderness ratio is 100. So for this 100 slenderness ratio, and my grade of steel is 250, right? So I am getting my FCD value is 107, right? So that is what I have written. My FCD is 107. Now once I get this FCD value, then I need to put this value in this equation, which is area required is equal to PD divided by FCD. So P is compression force 638.4 divided by FCD is 107. So you will get your area required as 5966 mm square for 2 angle sections, right? For 2 angle sections the total area required is 5966 mm square. Now again we need to go back to the steel table and select an angle section which is having a double angle section which is having area more than this 5966. So I am not going to repeat the same process. You can refer it by yourself. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. So try 2 ISA, I am getting 150 by 115 by 12 mm, right? So on both the sides of gusset plate. Now here I am assuming the depth of thickness of gusset plate as 12 mm. So from SP6 or steel table you can find this. So the properties of this is area, total area is 6076 mm square, which is more than required. Then RZZ is 33.33 mm, RYY we get as 70.55 mm, right? So now the important point to note over here is that compression member has the tendency to buckle in the horizontal axis, right? Compression member has a tendency to buckle in the horizontal plane, that is YY axis. So as you can see, this is a diagram that I have shown here. This is a roadway. So on both the sides you have a side truss, right? So at top they are supported by the rackers. Your compression members are supported by the rackers on both the sides, right? So for this arrangement we are going to do the design. So let us start the design. for the arrangement shown in the figure, it is supported on both the sides with rackers to avoid the buckling. So if you go to IS 800 page number 48 clause number 7.5.2.1, so refer IS 800 2007 page number 48 and clause number is 7.5.2.1. you will get your KL value, K value, not L. L is the length, so you will get your K value as 0.85. So let us see whether we are getting this value or not. We need to go to page number 48. So let's just go to IS code and page number 48. Yes, here is the page number 48, and just let me rotate. Once more, done. Right, so page number 48 is this, and clause number is 7.5.2.1, 7.5.2, 2.1 is here. Double angle strut. For double angle discontinuous struts connected back to back on opposite sides of a gusset or a section by not less than 2 bolts or rivets in line along the angles at each end or by the equivalent in the welding, the load may be regarded as applied axially. The effective length K into L in the plane of end gusset shall be taken as between 0.7 to 0.85 times the distance between the intersections depending on the degree of restraints provided. Right, so 0.7 to 0.85 is the value we can take. So let us consider the maximum value. Right, so we are going to consider as 0.85 the value of K. Right, so let's go back to the board. So then we can find out the value of K into L. So for that we need to find out what is the length now. So top chord member is laterally supported by the alternate rakers. Right, so generally length will be, top chord members will be supported by the rakers, so length will be 2 into 300. So length will be 2 multiplied by 3000 on both the sides, right? Both the sides the rakers will be there, right? So K into L will become 0.85 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3000. So we'll get your K into L value as 5100 mm. Then find out the ratio of KL upon RY. So you'll get your KL upon RY ratio as 72.3, which is less than 180. 72.3, which is less than 180. Therefore it is said to be okay, this slenderness ratio. So for KL upon R 72.3, we need to again go to page number 32, right? Page number 32, and again we need to see table number C, right? So from table number 9C that we have seen in the previous step, table number 9C. So for FY 250 and KL upon R value 72.3, right? So we need to do the interpolation. So 72.3, right? So for the difference of 10, right? So for the difference of 10, there is a difference of 16 in the values. For the difference of 10, there is a difference of 16 in the value. This is KL upon R and this is FCD value, right? So I want a difference of 2.3 after 70, right? So 2.3. So what should be the difference? So I am getting this difference as 3.68, right? I am getting this value as 3.6. This is simple interpolation, right? So I am not going into much detail of this interpolation values. So FCD value will be, therefore FCD value is 152 minus 3.68. Why minus? Because the values are decreasing. So I am getting it as 148.32 148.32 MPa. So once I get the FCD value, I can easily calculate the force. So PD is equal to A into FCD. PD is equal to AE multiplied by FCD. So AE is the area of this double angle sections. We got it as 6076 multiplied by 148.32 right. So if you get this value, it will give us total compression carrying capacity of the section. So I am getting this as 901.2 kilonewton, 901.2 kilonewton, which is greater than actual compression force that is acting due to the loading, which is 638.4 kilonewton. Therefore section is safe and therefore provide to ISA. The sections are, what is the size? ISA 150 by 115 by 12, 150 by 115 by 12, as compression members, right. So this is how we do the design of a top chord member. So top chord members, we got it as 2 ISA 150 by 115 by 12 mm. This is the design of a top chord member, or in short you can say this is a compression member design also, right. So we did the design of two members till now, bottom chord member, top chord member. Next we are going to do the design of the vertical members, and then we do the design of the diagonal members also, right. So thank you so much for watching this. Keep learning, keep practicing. See you in the next session.